Okay, well, ordinarily I might cancel this evening, but I'm just in the mood to plow through this and get this done. Use this time to your benefit. You've got me damn near one on one, so use it to your benefit. But to start things out for the recording, welcome and thank you for coming to the October Trader Vision User Workshop. My name's Ed Carter, for those of you who don't know, and tonight we're going to basically answer your questions. We'll look at the markets, then we'll scan, find a few trades, and plan them out. So that's the basic agenda. Come on, there we go. Yeah, just Q&A. We'll take a look at the markets, and you should know how it's been looking lately. And then we'll scan, find some tickers, and plan a couple trades. And we'll just kind of go from there. So let's start by throwing this out to you. If you've got any questions about Trader Vision, anything at all, just go ahead and shoot. If you don't, I understand. I don't mean to put you on the spot, but that's the purpose of this. Is not for me to just give a presentation or anything of that nature. I don't do sales pitches, but this is your chance to get your questions answered in detail. No, there are no new scans that have been added at this point. That will be coming relatively soon. And I apologize for that, but I've been up to my ears in another development project that we're involved with, building a real-time live scanner. So that's kind of occupied my brain here recently. Well, yeah, again, I do apologize for nothing new, but as long as we're talking about scanning, let's go ahead and move on into the scanning topic itself. How am I going to minimize this? Let's just do that. I hope you can see this. I've got it bumped up to 1.2 times the size. And I apologize, I will slow down here. There's a lag in this room. I don't know what it is, but I presented a couple times today for an hour or so in room 1 and had no problems, but for whatever reason, we seem to have a lag in room 3. Actually, before we do that, let's look at the markets. If anybody has not been paying attention, it's been pretty brutal this month. At least if you're a bull. The markets pretty much across the board have sold off hard. Blue ice failure or ice hole failure, depending on where you learned the term. And we fell down through the 200, got a bounce, but this is looking a lot like a bear flag. And in particular, that looks an awful lot like an evening star signal that fell back down through the 200 today. And that's how markets tend to move. It's not going to move in a straight line. On the way up, they're going to move up and pull back and move up and pull back and move up and consolidate and move up. And on the way down, you're going to get the same thing. You're going to get a fall down. You're going to get a relief rally. You're going to get another fall down. You're going to get a relief rally. And that could very well be what we're seeing here. Of course, this could be a new low. Maybe this is a low, a high, and a higher low. But for all the world, that looks like an evening star to me. And that looks like a bear flag until proven otherwise. So I'm going to be on the bearish side of things. I think if you look at the small caps, it's even more. Let's just move that over and scrunch it up. I think it's even more apparent that this is a bearish pattern. Of course, it's been bearish longer, fallen further down through the 200. and it looks to me like we bounced off of that line, was not drawn on this candle. It's been there for some time, and it just bounced down off of it. So to me, it looks like at best we could be saying some sideways action, but this kind of looks like a bear flag to me, and a bear flag with an evening star signal. So I am on the bearish side of the sentiment poll tonight, and with that out of the way, let's see if we can't find some bearish trades that might be worth looking at. I'm going to look at rounded top breakdowns. That will include some blue ice failures, and just to limit it, because the market was so bearish today, I don't want to do the entire market. So let's just stick to the Russell 1000. That'll give us plenty of liquidity. I'll filter it down by looking for a minimum 50-day average volume of 500,000 shares a day. And, I could do more than this, I don't know, $10, but it doesn't matter. There's 143 of them. So we're going to have to use our heads here. During earnings season, let's sort by earnings, and that way we can see what's out of the way and what's coming up probably. For example, Team reported today. I don't have any idea what they reported, but I do know that, let's drag this over here, that looks an awful lot like an evening star right off of the volatility stop failure, and I think we could fall down into this area. So let's plan that out here in a moment. We'll look at it in TC2000 just because I can get a better chart there with a little bit more fine tuning. So let me mark that one down. I reported the 18th, so we've got 3 months, or we should have, on that. Let's go on down through and see if we come up with anything else. It's pretty expensive. We need to fall almost $7, and we don't have that quite there. I'm just looking for things that have, about a 10% potential of fall. It's pretty quick. I'm just using the arrow key to pound down through these things. Here's one that might have some potential. Again, evening star off of the 50, and I think that's worth a look. So that OKTA. Let's just keep going. 53 to close, but not quite on DCI. Lulu, for an options trade, this is probably worth a look. So I'll mark Lulu, and we'll look for one more here. And not quite. Let's look for something maybe in the price. Here's one for $60. Yeah, that's got potential there. So let's look at Nordstrom's as well and see what we can find. So before we dig into them, let's go over here to TC2000. I guess Well, that last one we looked at was Nordstrom's. And let's get back to my stock. Looks like I've got it marked up already. There's the highs. It's testing right now the V-stops that I have set. I would probably wait for a breakout here. We're looking at what? Something like 10-11% in there for that trade. So let's go out to 5-day, make sure I got my lines where I want them. Can we tighten it up any? I guess we could put one in there, but that's not going to really help us. But it could provide protection for a stop. I might move this down just a touch. That's probably going to be about where I put it. This one looks about where I want it to be. Okay, so that gives us, let's call an entry price here of what? 59. Oh, let's just call 59.95. With this, well, I hate to do that. Let's call it 59.60. That's going to be a terrible first target. This is where the money's going to be made. Let's see if it plans. Let's just try it. Again, we should have 4 weeks, something like that at least, if that's correct. And we will have 5 bullish and 1 bearish. What? Oh, okay, the long-term trends and the stock trends, but it is rolling over. We've got that router top breakdown. Let's go ahead and plan that as, we'll try it with 2, but I don't think we'll get there. What did I say, 59.60? Oh, I know what I did wrong. That might help. 59.60. And let's look at a stop. Probably right in this area. 61.80. With that first target down around 58.15. And that second target let's call it 53.65 even. I don't think this is going to work. Let's do 100 shares. That's going to be too much for this account, but let's assume that I could do it. If we sold 50 at that first target, we're getting nothing. Yeah. So this trade is just not going to work, and away it goes. What was that second one? OKTA. Again, looks like I've got it marked up like most charts. Probably someplace in there. Let's go to a 5-day. What do you know? Right on that line. So that's probably a fairly good line. So going back here, off of that evening star type, that wick, lower wick is going to probably disqualify it, but I'll look for a 58, 55 type of entry. Let's change this to short. OKTA. Got 3 bullish, 4 bearish. And we might even have a little bit more time here on this one, probably to the 1st of December. 1 entry and 2 exits. What did I say? 58. $58, $55 maybe, with a stop. I'm going to have to come up in here. I'm just going to call it 62 bucks. It's going to make it tough, but let's look. 62 bucks. First target down here, 54.90, and the second target down here at 50.70. $54.90. 50.70. I don't know if we should get a third target here or not. We might get a third target down to 48.25. Okay. I'm just going to do 100 shares again. Let's say that we do 30 of them. What have I done here? There we go. So it's a big position, but let's go ahead and take it. That's not giving us very much. If we can look past that first target and just say the second target is where we're at, what does that give us? We got something going on here tonight. Yeah, it's giving us 2.28 to 1, so that second target would work. And that third target, should probably reboot this thing, but I'm going to try to suffer through about 2.6 to 1, and it would well in a way almost triple our target, but it's all predicated on this first target not being strong and going to that second target. So let's go out here to the weekly and let's see if it makes sense. Out here on the weekly, this is the one that we have to say we can look past. I could see moving it down, but I don't see looking past it. I could see how this could be, right in this area. 54, whatever that is, 60. We'd get 3 touches down here if it was here. It's going to be someplace in that area, about 50 cents wide. So let's just see what would happen if we did that. And this is 54, 50. Let's take this out and this out. Boy, didn't help a lot. So again, this is not going to work unless you can see this running past that first target on down to that second target. But it is what it is. Okay, let's go back and look at I guess what it was, Team and Lulu. I see somebody typing, so I'm going to hang on just a moment. But let's pull up Team while I'm waiting. This is a weekly. Okay, no wonder. Let's go back to a daily. Again, this looks like it had something akin to an evening star. Not quite. A lot of wick today. It certainly is not going to qualify technically, but if it fell down through those highs here, the top of those bodies, I should say, that would be a pretty good indication, particularly if it gave up that low wick. This looks like a blue ice failure-esque. It seems to have failed this level here as opposed to the 50. But that's certainly a bear flag, and that's a bullish or a bearish type of indication. Should this line be up here? It might. Let's go out to that weekly again. Yeah, I think we could move that up here. Someplace in this area, off of the tops of these and the bottom of that. Maybe move it down just a touch. And basically catching that. Now let's go back to a 1 day. So if that's my entry level below that, which would give it plenty of fall there, this would still give us 12-13% there. So this one's probably gonna pan out. Let's go ahead and figure this out. Team short. Yvonne, I'm doing it because I've got some sort of glitch going on here. I don't want to reboot it again this evening. But I've got some sort of glitch going on here. It wasn't recalculating shorts on that last entry. But every time I close and reopen it, it did. It's been a long day since 5:30 a.m. Let's look at one. Let's see if there's another one out here. Probably someplace in this area. 5. Yeah, someplace right in this area is another one. Picking up these highs and these lows. I'm just going to call that close enough. And that puts us back here actually just a touch, well, right there along that level. It was right in the neighborhood that I was looking at. Okay, so we're looking at a 78 entry, a 68.70 first target. 78 entry, 68.70 I think I said as a first target. Let's go back here and look again. We're going to put our stop right here. What is that V-stop? The V-stop says it's 84. 0.05. Yeah, let's try it. Let's just make it 84 since we had 78. That'll make it nice and even. And that second target's down here about 65, and we'll be generous. We'll call it 65.90. Okay. Again, I'm going to do 100 shares. I just hate to do less than that. It's a big position, but your account may be a different size than this is. If we sold half at that first target, we're only getting 1.5 to 1. That surprises me. It's a lot of stop, I guess. Let's go back and look at that. That's a lot of stop there. On this entry, so it's going to fall. By the time we fall out here, we can move our stop down because it's we're already predicting that the price is going to be down here. So if I move a stop more in this area above this, that would work. So this line's at 79.60, so let's just move it up. Let's call it 80 bucks. So that would be a stop of only 80 bucks. That's going to work a lot better, I think. Boy, howdy, that'll work better. So we've got a $2 stop and $9.30 first target. And there's another 50 shares, and that takes us up to 5.35 to 1. $1,000. So we're risking 200 bucks to make $1,000. That'll work. Oh, well, almost 1,100 bucks. That'll work every day of the week. And so let's go back and just make sure I'm not insane. $78 entry is below that level that we've drawn. A stop up here at 80 is right up in here, and that seems realistic to me after we have moved down that much. First target, I said 68, I don't know, 68.70 I probably said. Even if we move that up, let's say it's 69 bucks. 69.25. That's the beauty of Trader Vision. You can play with these numbers. So let's move it up to 69.25. That doesn't, it only hurts 30 bucks. So, you know, has done nothing to hurt us. And let's just move this other one up all the way up here. Just for grins, 67.25. That takes us down to 975. So essentially, we're getting just under 5 to 1 at that point. But that trade plan, $78 entry, $80 stop, and you could even make that a little more generous with a 69.25 first target and a 67.25 second target is going to get you a 12.5% trade overall, and that will work. And what's even better is you may be able to do this with options, which would increase your leverage even better and also allow you to be more conservative with a 70 delta is probably going to put you, up in this area in terms of what your strike price is. I don't know what they offer, but that might work. I use this software, by the way. This is the software Atlassian is the software that we used called Bitbucket to manage the project. Okay, so we've done, I guess, Lulu's the last one we need to look at here. Again, this is probably an option trade. Let's see what we've got out here on a weekly chart. Well, if I come down here, I pick up 4 touches. So maybe I'll move that down, split the difference right in there. This one, boy, that's a lot of congestion, but I'm not sure exactly where to put it. If I put it up in this area, split the difference, let's do that. We'll be kind of split the difference in there. A touch there, a couple touches there, and 3 touches there. So about 130 and change. This one, maybe like that. Again, it's a tough one. V-stop says it should be up in here, but I think touch, close to a touch is probably as close as I'm going to get. Let's see what we can do up above. There's 3 touches there and 3 close touches there. Maybe that's what we'll use. So let's go back to a daily and see what this lays out as. Again, we've got a dreaded H pattern, a blue ice failure, not a evening star, but that is a bearish engulf. And we've got a doji setting up a doji continuation pattern here for tomorrow. And we do have the red V-stops above. So let's say that we're looking for 140, and I moved it, 140.25 is an entry, and 130 is, and a quarter is a target. Let's just use a quarter each, and put a stop up in this area because we are looking for a move down first. So let's put it up in here, 146 and a quarter, 140 and a quarter, 146 and a quarter, 130 and a quarter. Two bullish, 4 bearish. $140 and a quarter, 146 and a quarter, 130 and a quarter. I think are those 3 numbers I said. 140, 146. Close enough. 130, and then let's do 120.50. Again, I'm going to do 100 shares. That'll be too many, but this is probably an option trade anyway. For argument's sake, let's look at selling half at that first target. Only 1.6 to 1. Let's look at that again, 1.7 to 1. So we're looking at well, that's the problem. I'm going clear up in here when in fact we're looking for it to move down quite a bit. Let's call it 145.50. That's pretty close, 1.9 to 1. And again, the second half are down at that second target, and that's going to get us close to 3-1. Pretty big stop, but risking 5 1/4 to make almost 1,500, and that will do it for us. In particular, because this is almost certainly an options trade for you at this price. And again, you're going to be looking for a 70 delta, which is probably going to put you up in this area someplace. So there you go with 3 trades that might work for you. And I guess we'll call that good enough with the planning. Are there any other questions that you guys have this evening? If not, we'll call it a night. Let's put that back up. Any questions? Yvonne, I see you typing. Okay. Well, again, I want to thank you for spending your Thursday evening with me, and I appreciate it. If you do need to get a hold of me, of course, you have the support button inside the application. You can always contact me in the room if you're in the trading room, or send me an email at ed@tradervision2020.com or support@tradervision2020.com. Of course, I have the YouTube channel where we put out videos on a regular basis, and the daily blog. Is our defense going to show up tomorrow night? You mean Saturday night? Are you talking about the Buckeyes Saturday night? Tomorrow night's Friday. Yeah, okay. You had me confused. I can't remember even who plays Saturday, or plays Friday, but yeah, I hope the Buckeyes show up. I don't know if you saw the interview today, but Bill Davis says he thinks they've got things worked out. I will hope so, but believe it when I see it. Yeah. So we're hoping. It's a long drive back from Purdue if it's not a happy night. So. Okay, guys. Sorry to get us sidetracked there. Thank you so much for spending your Thursday with me, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow, or next time we run into each other. Thanks so much.